Welcome, seekers of truth and freedom. Today we explore a profound wisdom that has the power to transform your existence, the art of detachment. This concept, when fully grasped and practiced, holds the key to liberating yourself from suffering. But what does it truly mean to detach? It's not about becoming cold or unfeeling. Rather, it's about freeing yourself from the chains of attachment that bind you to pain, fear, and limitation. Imagine a life where external circumstances no longer dictate your inner state. Picture yourself standing firm in your peace, regardless of the storms that rage around you. This is the promise of true detachment. It's a state of being where you're fully engaged with life, yet not entangled in its dramas. To understand detachment, we must first recognize what we're attached to. Often it's not the things or people themselves, but our ideas about them. We cling to our expectations, our desires, our fears. We grip tightly to our self-image, our past, our future. These attachments become the source of our suffering. When reality doesn't match our expectations, we suffer. When we fear losing what we have, we suffer. When we can't let go of past hurts or future anxieties, we suffer. The root of all this suffering is attachment. But here's a truth that might shake you. Nothing truly belongs to you. Not your possessions, not your relationships, not even your body or your thoughts. Everything in this physical realm is temporary, in constant flux. By attaching ourselves to these impermanent things, we set ourselves up for inevitable pain. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring or loving. It means you love without expectation, you care without conditions. It's about being fully present in each moment, accepting what is, without trying to control outcomes. Think of it like this: you're an actor in a play. You fully embody your role, you give it your all. But when the curtain falls, you don't carry the character's joys or sorrows off stage. You know it was just a role you were playing. This is how we can approach life, fully engaged, yet inwardly free. The practice of detachment begins with awareness. Start noticing your attachments. What do you fear losing? What outcomes are you desperately hoping for? What past events are you still holding on to? Simply observing these attachments without judgment is the first step towards freedom. Next, question your attachments. Are they serving you? Are they based on truth or on conditioned beliefs? Often we'll find that our attachments are rooted in false ideas about what will bring us happiness or security. As you cultivate awareness and question your attachments, you'll start to naturally let go. This letting go isn't forced. It's like holding sand. The tighter you grip, the more it slips through your fingers. But when you open your hand, it rests there peacefully. Detachment also involves surrendering to the flow of life. It's recognizing that you're not in control of external events, but you are in control of your response to them. It's about trusting in the unfolding of life, even when you don't understand it. This brings us to a pivotal question. If you knew, with absolute certainty, that everything in your life was unfolding for your highest good, even the challenges and disappointments, how would that change your experience of life? As we conclude this first part, I invite you to sit with this question. Feel into the state of trust and surrender it evokes. This is the beginning of true detachment, a deep knowing that all is well, regardless of appearances. In our next segment, we'll explore practical techniques to cultivate detachment in your daily life. Are you ready to take the next step towards unshakable peace? In this phase of our exploration, we dive into the practical alchemy of detachment. This is where theory transforms into lived experience, where wisdom becomes embodied truth. The journey of detachment is not about denying your human experience, but about transcending its limitations. Begin by observing your thoughts. Notice how many of them revolve around past regrets or future anxieties. These thoughts are the threads that weave the fabric of attachment. Instead of fighting these thoughts, simply watch them. Imagine you're sitting by a river, watching leaves float by. These leaves are your thoughts. You don't need to grab them or push them away. Just observe. This practice of mindful observation creates a space between you and your thoughts. In this space, you'll find your true self, the unchanging awareness that exists beyond the ever-changing stream of thoughts. This is the foundation of detachment. Now, let's address your emotions. Emotions are energy in motion. When you resist them, you create suffering. When you cling to them, you prolong suffering. The key is to feel fully without identifying with your feelings. Allow emotions to flow through you like water through a hollow bamboo. When a strong emotion arises, don't label it as good or bad. Instead, notice where you feel it in your body. Is there tension in your chest? A knot in your stomach? Simply observing the physical sensation of an emotion without getting caught in its story is a powerful way to practice detachment. Your relationships offer rich ground for practicing detachment. Love fully but release expectations. Understand that each person is on their own journey. Your role is not to control or change them, but to support their growth while honoring your own path. When conflicts arise, step back and observe. Are you attached to being right? To getting your way? Can you see the situation from the other person's perspective? True detachment allows you to respond with wisdom, rather than react from ego. In your daily life, practice non-attachment to outcomes. Set intentions, take inspired action, but release your grip on how things should unfold. Trust that the universe has a greater plan than your limited mind can conceive. This doesn't mean becoming passive. It means acting from a place of alignment rather than anxiety. Here's a powerful practice. At the end of each day, mentally release everything and everyone. Imagine that this day was your last. How would you let go of all your possessions, relationships, and unfulfilled desires? Feel the lightness and freedom in this release. Then, greet the next day as a bonus, a gift you didn't expect to receive. Consider this: if you knew you were eternal, that your essence could never be diminished or destroyed, how would you approach the challenges and losses in your life? This brings us to a crucial aspect of detachment, the recognition of your true nature. You are not your body, your thoughts, your emotions, or your circumstances. These are all temporary expressions of your being. Your true self is the unchanging awareness that observes all of these. Spend time each day connecting with this unchanging self. In meditation, focus on the space between your thoughts. In daily life, regularly shift your attention from what you're experiencing to the awareness that's experiencing it. This simple practice can profoundly shift your perspective. As you cultivate detachment, you may notice fear arising. The ego resists detachment because it threatens its existence. Remember, detachment doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you care from a place of freedom rather than need. You love because it's your nature to love, not because you need something in return. Practice detachment with your possessions. Regularly give away things you don't need. When you buy something new, imagine losing it. This doesn't mean you can't enjoy material things. It means you enjoy them fully while they're here without fearing their loss. Detachment also applies to your self-image. Are you attached to being seen as smart, successful, or spiritual? Can you let go of these identities and simply be? True freedom comes when you're no longer invested in any particular image of yourself. As we conclude this segment, I invite you to reflect on what you've discovered about your attachments. What have you been holding on to that you're now ready to release? Remember, detachment is not a destination, but a continuous practice. Each moment offers a new opportunity to choose freedom over attachment. In this crucial phase of our journey, we confront the ultimate test of detachment, life's greatest challenges. These are the crucibles that forge our spirits, the dark nights that precede our most profound awakenings. It's easy to practice detachment when life flows smoothly, but when we face loss, failure, illness, or betrayal, our attachments reveal themselves with stark clarity. Let's begin with loss. The loss of a loved one, a relationship, a dream. These experiences can shake us to our core. Our instinct is to cling, to resist the reality of change. But true detachment allows us to honor our grief while not being consumed by it. Remember, your love for someone isn't measured by the depth of your suffering after they're gone. You can cherish memories without being chained to the past. When facing loss, breathe into the pain. Feel it fully, but don't identify with it. You are not your grief. You are the vast awareness in which grief arises. As you sit with your pain, you'll notice it comes in waves. It intensifies, then subsides. By observing this ebb and flow without resistance, you allow the natural healing process to unfold. Now, let's address failure. In a world obsessed with success, failure can feel like a death sentence to the ego. But with detachment, you see failure for what it truly is: feedback. It's not a judgment of your worth, but information to guide your growth. When you detach from the need to succeed, you free yourself to learn, to innovate, to take bold risks. Practice reframing your failures. Instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" ask, "What is this teaching me?" Release your attachment to a specific outcome and open yourself to the wisdom each experience offers. Remember, the most successful people in history often faced numerous failures before their breakthroughs. Illness presents another profound opportunity for practicing detachment. When our health is compromised, we realize how attached we are to our physical well-being. But even in sickness, you can find freedom. Your body may be limited, but your spirit remains boundless. Use illness as a gateway to explore your inner world, to cultivate compassion for yourself and others who suffer. Detachment doesn't mean denying the reality of physical pain or the desire for healing. It means not allowing your health status to define your sense of self or your inner peace. You are not your illness. You are the consciousness that observes the experience of illness. Consider this: if your worth wasn't tied to your productivity or physical capability, how would that change your experience of illness or disability? Betrayal by a loved one, a friend, or even by life itself, when our expectations are shattered, can be one of the most challenging experiences to face with detachment. The ego screams for justice, for revenge, for the right to hold on to hurt and anger. But detachment offers a different path, one of understanding and forgiveness. This doesn't mean condoning harmful actions. It means freeing yourself from the burden of resentment. Understand that everyone acts from their level of consciousness. Their actions reflect their inner state, not your worth. By releasing the need for others to behave according to your expectations, you reclaim your power and peace. In all of life's challenges, detachment allows you to respond rather than react. It gives you the clarity to see the bigger picture, to act from wisdom rather than fear or anger. This is how you transform adversity into opportunity, pain into growth. Embrace uncertainty as a path to freedom. Often our suffering comes from trying to control the uncontrollable. When you release your attachment to knowing how things will turn out, you open yourself to infinite possibilities. Trust in the unfolding of your life, even when you don't understand it. Practice seeing challenges as initiations. In many spiritual traditions, the initiate must face trials to evolve. View your difficulties not as punishments, but as opportunities for spiritual growth. Ask yourself, how is this experience inviting me to evolve? Remember, detachment doesn't mean becoming passive in the face of injustice or difficulty. It means acting from a place of inner peace and clarity, rather than from fear or anger. You can work towards change without being attached to the outcome. This is the essence of Karma Yoga, action without attachment to the fruits of action. As we conclude this segment, I invite you to reflect on the challenges in your life. How would approaching them with detachment change your experience? Can you see how releasing your attachments might transform your greatest difficulties into your most profound teachers? As we reach the pinnacle of our exploration, we unveil the profound transformations that occur when detachment becomes your lived reality. This is not an endpoint, but the beginning of a new way of being, a life of true freedom, boundless joy, and aligned purpose. When you fully embody detachment, you experience life as a divine play. You participate fully, but without the burden of attachment. Like a skilled actor, you immerse yourself in each role life presents, giving it your all, yet remaining inwardly free. This paradoxical state of engaged detachment allows you to experience life's highs without clinging and its lows without resistance. In this state, fear loses its grip on you. You realize that what you truly are can never be threatened or diminished. This fearlessness unleashes your creativity and allows you to take inspired risks. You stop playing small and start living from your highest potential. Relationships transform when approached with detachment. You love more deeply because your love is no longer based on need or fear of loss. You allow others the freedom to be themselves without trying to control or change them. This unconditional acceptance creates space for genuine intimacy and growth. Your perspective on time shifts dramatically. The past no longer haunts you, and the future no longer anxiously calls you. You live fully in the present moment, understanding that it's the only place where life truly happens. This presence infuses every experience with richness and vitality. Decision-making becomes clear and intuitive. Without the clouding influence of attachments, you naturally align with choices that serve your highest good and the good of all. You trust your inner guidance and act with confidence, even in the face of uncertainty. As you release attachments to specific outcomes, you open yourself to synchronicities and unexpected opportunities. Life begins to flow with an ease and grace that seems magical. You find yourself in the right place at the right time, meeting the right people, encountering exactly what you need for your growth. Perhaps most profoundly, you discover your true purpose. Not a specific role or achievement, but the purpose of fully expressing your unique essence. You realize that your very being, lived authentically and with full presence, is your gift to the world. In this state of detached awareness, suffering transmutes into compassion. You see the interconnectedness of all beings and naturally act with kindness and consideration. Your peace becomes a healing presence for those around you. As we conclude, remember, detachment is not a destination, but a continuous unfolding. Each moment offers a new opportunity to choose freedom over attachment, love over fear, presence over distraction. This is the dance of enlightened living, eternally fresh, infinitely creative. So I ask you, are you ready to release the illusion of control and surrender to the magnificent flow of life? Are you prepared to trade your attachments for true freedom? The choice is yours in each precious moment. The dance of existence invites you. Will you join with an open heart and a liberated spirit?